All right, we are going to be coming back here, and we're going to hit on the fairness doctrine. We're going to talk a little bit about the prophecy Ezekiel had 2,600 years ago in the 38th and 39th chapter. You are listening to Understanding the Times Radio. Bill Koenig is my guest, watch.org on the web. We are coming back after just a very short time out. Remember, you have been called and born to be a part of such a time as this.
A reminder to Radio Archive listeners and podcasters that the Understanding the Times radio show is totally listener-supported. We air on several radio stations, which allows us to bring our programming to you. Would you consider a tax-deductible donation to Olive Tree Ministries for the radio outreach? You can send a check to Box 1452, Maple Grove, Minnesota, 55311. That's Box 1452, Maple Grove, Minnesota, 55311. You can also donate and order safely online at olivetreeviews.org or call 763-493-3010. And thanks for partnering with this ministry committed to helping you understand the times and contend for the faith.
Like a son looks to his father's ways, my heart seeks for you. Take me by the hand, lead me into your land. You made my heart anew. Like a pillar of fire, like a column of cloud, your spirit leads me through.
Welcome back to Jan Markell's Understanding the Times. Here's Jan Markell.
You can find the music of Cole Simca at my website, olivetreeviews.org. Go to our products, and we're going to go immediately back to my guest, Bill Koenig. And Bill has spoken at 4 Understanding the Times conferences since 2002. He is a White House correspondent. He is just one of about 5 or 6 Christians in the White House press corps. His book is Eye to Eye, Facing the Consequences of Dividing Israel. His e-newsletter, Koenig's Eye View from the White House. Look up all of it. Check it out at watch.org on the web. Koenig's International News, watch.org on the web. Bill, as I went into the break, and actually now coming out of the break, I'm reminded that we had a conversation a while ago about the fairness doctrine, and you feel quite strongly that it will not happen.
I believe that the Obama administration does not want that fight. They even said something a couple of weeks ago. The press secretary said that they do not favor a change, and they do not favor the fairness doctrine. There might be some people like Nancy Pelosi
Yes.
and Harry Reid and a few people
Yes.
in Congress that might attempt to push it, but he specifically said that he would not favor it. So unless there's a change, that's pretty much the way it's going to go. I think it would be an enormous fight. I think it would be very, very divisive, and I think hopefully also cooler head will prevail and won't even get to that point. So
Yeah, well,
I feel good at this point, Jan, at least for this year.
All right. It would go to the Supreme Court and be a terrible mess, but, but
yeah,
you're
and
right.
long. It'd be a long time. I don't think it's the Republican. Actually, let me put it this way: the conservative radio shows are successful, very successful.
Yes, they are.
And the liberal talk programs do not do very well. Even their big network, Air America's in bankruptcy. So it's just to be a big mistake all the way around.
Bill, I've heard rumor and read rumor that it wouldn't be called the Fairness Doctrine, that President Obama would actually bring it in by stealth.
Yeah, through the back door, maybe.
Well, at this point, Heidi, I think he's got other more significant issues to face. This one would be very divisive, and I think these guys they're fairly shrewd. I mean, not fairly shrewd. They're shrewd, and it's just not a fight they want to participate in now.
All right, let's see here. All right, here's what I want to do, Bill. Let's real quickly, and I know that's a little bit unfair to everybody, but let's just recap the scenario found in Ezekiel 38 and 39 and why that is so important that we're even bringing it up. It's known in the Bible. It was written 2,600 years ago. as Gog and Magog, and theologians, at least theologians you and I agree with, Bill. Maybe they're becoming fewer and fewer all the time, but they would tell us that Gog is likely the head of Magog, which is Russia, and that Russia will bring together a number of Islamic entities together in the last days war. They'll swoop down into Israel to seize a spoil. Now, that there would be hooks put in the jaws, particularly of Russia, to bring her down with these Islamic entities accompanying her. And many have wondered for quite a while what kind of hook could be put in the jaw of Russia to cause her to do this heinous act, which we don't know the timing. It could be tomorrow, it could be 10 years from now, 20 years. We don't know. We just don't know. However, here's the point I'm leading to, and let me get your take on it. Obviously, some know that there was an absolutely gigantic find of natural gas right off the coast of Israel, 5 trillion cubic feet of natural gas that's come out in the last 3-4 months. This should be major news. It's kind of buried news. It should be major. You told me the other day, Bill Koenig, that you think that perhaps ancient gold may also be discovered in Israel, making the world envious. And you take it from there where you see this could possibly be heading.
Well, ancient gold has been a theory that some people have believed would be part of the motivation for the force from the north to come against Israel, which is very interesting and very plausible because there was a tremendous amount of gold way back when. This 5 trillion cubic feet of gas is one of the largest natural gas finds in America, or not in America, but throughout the world this year and over the last couple of years. It's just absolutely enormous. And I talked to a friend a couple of days ago in Phoenix that has a friend that was involved in that, and he said that they believe there's more than even that. So I think there's a potential fight brewing over that between Lebanon and the Israelis and even Cyprus, but I think that'll work out to Israel's advantage. Also, some people still believe that there's crude oil, actual oil,
yes. Mm-hmm.
Underneath the Dead Sea, and they would siphon off some of the very rich oil from Saudi Arabia. And also there's a possibility of some oil in northern Samaria. These are all possibilities. Also, the technology. Israel has some of the great scientific and computer technology people in the world, and no telling what that could mean in terms of value in the future. I believe, as far as the hook, Jan, I believe the hook has been placed. I've been watching Russia do things in the last 12 to 18 months that are extremely problematic. They right now are putting together some former Soviet Union countries up near the Caucasian Mountains in a military force to eventually be able to defend itself against the NATO force in that area of the world. That's very significant. Russia right now is developing a port on the Mediterranean in Tartus, Syria, which would be fairly close to this natural gas find. Also, they're going to be developing a port in Libya, which is part of the Gog-Magog force.
That's right.
And also in Yemen. That's very significant. They are selling more weapons to the Middle Eastern countries, also to Iran and Syria. They are also calling to sponsor a peace conference this year between the Palestinians and the Israelis, but they want to include Syria too. And that is something they want to hold in Moscow this year. Lavrov, the foreign minister, was down in Israel a couple months ago to say we're ready to do it. They want a stronger role in the peace process as well as a continued stronger role in the Middle East.